Welcome to the Steve Ames Show with the guitarist Sandy Renda, pianist Mike Yanuzzi, and my special guest, singer-songwriter Brian GARI. And now, on with the show. Well, what do you know? She smiled at me in my dreams last night. My dreams are getting better all the time. And what do you know? She looked at me in a different light. My dreams are getting better all the time. To think that we were strangers a couple of nights ago. And though it's a dream, I never dreamed she'd ever say hello. Well, maybe tonight I'll hold her tight when the moonbeams shine. My dreams are getting better all the time. Well, what do you know? She smiled at me in my dreams last night. My dreams are getting better all the time. And what do you know? She looked at me in a different light. My dreams are getting better all the time. To think that we were strangers a couple of nights ago. And though it's a dream, I never dreamed she'd ever say hello. Well, maybe tonight I'll hold her tight when the moonbeams shine. My dreams are getting better all the time. Sweetheart, my dreams are getting better all the time. My dreams are getting better all the time. Written by Curtis Mann and Vic Mizzy, and introduced by Marion Hutton in the Universal film In Society. And now here are the two Society musicians at the guitar, Sandy Renda, and at the piano, Mike Yanuzzi. Some big band memories now from Les Brown and his band of renown. A song they recorded with Doris Day on the vocals, written by Les Brown, Bud Green, and Ben Homer. Gonna take a sentimental journey, gonna set my heart at ease, gonna take a sentimental journey to renew old memories. Got my bag, I got my reservation, spent each dime I could afford, like a child in wild anticipation, long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Never thought my heart would be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? Gonna take a sentimental journey, sentimental journey home. That's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. I never thought my heart would be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? Gonna take a sentimental journey, sentimental journey home. Thank you, Sandy, and thank you, Mike. I just want to tell everybody the good news that we are presently recording a new CD entitled Favorites of the 40s. And it will have 18 big hit songs of the 1940s on it, including the two songs we opened up the show with, My Dreams Are Getting Better All the Time and Sentimental Journey. And Sandy, why don't you tell the folks about all the musicians on the CD that we're doing?
Well, yeah, including yourself.
Right, as the singer.
We're doing a good job. It come out very nice, I think, in general. Well, we have Mike on keyboards, piano, Craig Williams, Mike Ganuzzi on piano, Craig Williams on bass, Joe Senator on saxophone, Bob Masucci on drums, and myself on guitar.
That's right, and we began recording last Sunday. We recorded the first 6 songs of the CD. We'll record another 6 songs in June, and then we'll record the remaining 6 songs in July. So the CD should be out by the end of the summer.
Good.
And we are recording it at Lorenzo Cresciabeni's Luna Sound in West Caldwell. He does a great job.
He's great.
Mike, did you enjoy the recording session?
Yeah, it was great. It was great to play all together, you know, as opposed to laying down tracks, so we did a good job.
That's right. We're looking forward to it. And what will the big song for tonight be?
Well, because we were in a train mode with Chattanooga Choo Choo, I picked one called Night Train. So we're all aboard for Night Train.
Let's hear it for Sandy and Mike. Brian GARI is a very talented singer, songwriter, and musician. Brian's grandfather was the legendary entertainer Eddie Cantor. Tonight we present Brian performing his own songs at the Metropolitan Room in New York City.
Not enough time to think about the past. Just enough time to think how this will last. Guess I've got too many things to do, 'cause I am busy enjoying you. So many times before I got caught up, hoping I wouldn't spill my half-filled cup. But now I don't care to drink that brew, 'cause I am busy enjoying you. I don't want to chat with friends online. I don't want to call them on my cell. Just suits me fine. I'm in love, can't you tell? I don't want to text the whole night long. I don't want to answer any mail. Nothing in this world can turn out wrong, 'cause our love will prevail. Not enough time to eat unless we stop doing all the things we love until we drop. Maybe I'll make the time to chew, but till then I'm busy enjoying. Hope I'm not being annoying, but till then I'm busy enjoying you. 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 Thank you. Thank you. I like looking at your face. It's always such a treat. I like looking at your face. It's perfect and so sweet. Your eyes, such a lovely shade of blue, color only made for you, that nobody else can claim. They're not the same. I like looking at your face, and I'll always want to look at it again. Your nose, I just love the shape of it. Send me off a tape of it, and I'll marvel all night long. I can't go wrong. I like looking at your face, and I'm sure it rates above a perfect 10. Oh yeah, 'cause I'll always want to look look at it again and again and again. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you all for coming to my debut at the Metropolitan Room. It's a wonderful room to play. I'm very honored to be here tonight. And it is streaming, so I didn't want to tell any of the New Yorkers that because then they wouldn't come. I'm glad that you all came and paid your admission cost because now these other people are going to get to see it for free. But it's mainly the West Coast. I told the West Coast people because they told me they would not fly here. The only person that told me that they might be here is Robert Durst. Nobody knows who that is. It's okay. It's just an inside joke. I had a show on Broadway, and it all stemmed from my playing comedy places around town. I didn't do comedy. I did my own songs. They eventually stopped having singers at those clubs. But I had met a comic there named Larry Cobb, who was a really nice guy, and he asked me to write a song for his nightclub act and said, you know, could you come up with something? And I kind of took the sad side of being a comic at these clubs. The time when the comic goes on at 4 o'clock in the morning and most of the people had had about 50 beers apiece. And I wrote this song, and it eventually evolved into the title song of my Broadway show. Didn't last a long time, but there's an album out of some of the greatest performers doing my songs. Everybody from Rupert Holmes, who did the title song, Paul Schaefer, Tony Roberts, Liz Larson, Liz Calloway, anybody named Liz. They're all on this album. But I'd like to do the song for you now the way I originally wrote it. Stayed up at the diner half the night. Tried his best to get the new bit right. But the jokes were the worst, and the comic right behind him said he wrote the whole thing first and threw it out. Called the club and asked them for a spot. They said 4 a.m.'s an empty slot. But he still didn't care. And sure enough, a waitress was the only person there, and she walked out. Late night comic, your audience is gone, but still you grab that microphone and still you carry on. Late night comic, keep the laughter coming till the dawn. Finally got to open up the show. 7 hecklers told him where to go, and he knew he was dead, 'cause when he got off stage, the owner quickly turned his head and walked away. Late night comic, your audience is gone, but still you grab that microphone and still you carry on. Late night comic, keep the laughter coming till the dawn. Late night comic, late night comic, late night comic, never yawn. Never yawn. Thank you. Thank you. I sang the blues for nothing, 'cause my baby didn't go. sang the blues for nothing, 'cause my baby didn't go. Well, now I thought she had left, but I was just too drunk to know. I sang the blues for nothing, 'cause my baby didn't split. I sang the blues for nothing, 'cause my baby didn't split. Well, now I thought she had left, but I was just too out of it. Crying out the blues till 3:30, singing of the pain and gloom. Suddenly I felt someone staring at me. My love had been in the other room. I sang the blues for nothing, but I didn't know it then. No, I sang the blues for nothing, but I didn't know it then. No, well now I wish she would leave, because I want to sing the blues again. Yeah, well now I wish she would leave, because I want to sing the blues again. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
With these next songs, I get to pay tribute to Irving Berlin and Eddie Cantor at the same time. Irving Berlin wrote the score to the Ziegfeld Follies of 1919. Eddie Cantor was one of the stars of the show and introduced this Berlin comedy song. She's not so good in a crowd, but when you get her alone, you'd be surprised. She isn't much at a dance, but when you're taking her home, you'd be surprised. She doesn't look like much of a lover, but don't judge a book by its cover. She's got the face of an angel, but there's a devil in her eyes. She's such a delicate thing, but when she starts to squeeze, you'd be surprised. She doesn't look very strong, but when she sits on your knees, you'd be surprised. At a party or at a ball, I've got to admit she's nothing at all, but in a Morris chair, you'd be surprised. She's not so good in the house, but on a bench in the park, you'd be surprised. She isn't much in the light, but when she gets in the dark, you'd be surprised. I know she looks as slow as the Erie. You don't know the half of it, dearie. She looks as cold as an Eskimo, but there's fire in her eyes. She doesn't say very much, but when she starts to speak, you'd be surprised. She's not so good at the start, but at the end of the week, you'd be surprised. On a streetcar or in a train, you think she was born without any brain, but in a taxi cab, you'd be surprised. Well, that's our show for tonight. I want to thank Sandy Renda, Mike Yanuzzi, our producer-director Jerry Schoenthal, and our very special guest, Brian Gary. We close off our show with another song Irving Berlin wrote for the Ziegfeld Follies, and Eddie Cantor liked this song so much, he revived it years later in the Goldwyn film Kid Millions. I was strolling out one evening by the silvery moon. I could hear somebody singing a familiar tune. So I stopped a while to listen. Not a word I wanted to miss. It was just somebody serenading, something like this. Mandy, there's a minister handy, and it sure would be dandy if we let her make a fee. So don't you linger, here's a ring for your finger. Isn't it a humdinger? Come along and let the wedding chimes bring happy times for Mandy and me, my pretty Mandy. There's a minister handy, and it sure would be dandy if we'd let him make a fee. So don't you linger, here's the ring for your finger. Isn't it a humdinger? Come along and let the wedding chimes bring happy times for Mandy